Hi, this is Deanna Dwell, and you're watching my YouTube channel, Heal in Motion PT. With a lot of computer work that's been going on, coronavirus has ruined our posture, and I have a handy dandy friend here, my foam roller, who really is quite useful. So I'm going to show you how I use this handy dandy friend. If you do not have a foam roller, you can use some yoga mats rolled up. You see I've got 2 yoga mats. It's just much squishier, so it won't provide quite the same stretch and intensity that the foam roller will. You could also use a rolled up beach towel. My warning is that the foam roller is much taller than your yoga mats, so the foam roller is enough length for my head and my tailbone to be on it, and these other objects will not be. So you'll want to be careful that your neck isn't back, you have an adequate pillow on the other side, or your tailbone isn't falling off. I'm more concerned about your tailbone, so support your tailbone and put a pillow for your head if you need to improvise. All right, let's get going with your handy dandy friend. Lay it lengthwise, okay? And in order to get onto this little buddy, you sit your bottom on it, okay? So you sit your bottom on all the way to the end and then roll on down. All right, just get used to it. Oh, I forgot to add, I do have weights. So if you want to add to this adventure, have a few hand weights. I've got an 8-pound, that's gonna be pretty heavy, 3 and a 4. Okay, so you are laying with your spine on this foam roller. You can feel a gap in your lower back, most likely, because your feet are lower than your bottom right now. So I want you to use your core to pull your belly button down into the foam roller. It may or may not actually touch. It's up to how much tilt you can do in your pelvis. Okay, now watch your chin. So if I'm doing a computer work, I'm sticking my face toward the computer all the time. And in this position, you want to kind of tuck your chin and sort of realign your body. If you've had any PT with me, I usually have people stand at the wall. So this is similar to posture on the wall. You've got your tailbone, you're smashing your lower back in though, that's different. And you've got a little chin tuck. Now let your arms sort of send up. See how far you can get above your head, keeping your back of your hand on the floor. I have stretched quite a lot, and I've been doing this a while, so I'm able to keep my hands pretty much on the floor the whole time. Okay, so you're just going to check out those ranges. You're checking out your shoulder, really. You're trying to see if you have pain somewhere in your shoulder, right or left. You don't want pain in the joint during our exercises. Okay, you would like pain in your muscles. I want to burn your muscles, but I don't want to have pain in the joint. Okay, now let's check straight up. So your fingertips are up toward the ceiling. You're going to let your arms reach overhead, thumbs toward the floor, and just check in. So if I get too far, can you see how my back arches? Right, I want to keep my core down and see how far can I reach those arms. For me, I seem to be able to reach all the way down. Not everybody can. So you're just going to check that range of your shoulders. Does it make a difference if one arm is up, the other arm is down? And if you swap, does that make a difference? Okay. So you're checking out the range of your shoulders. Okay. Now with my feet, I have them about sit bones width apart because I've done this a lot. But if you're feeling unsafe, you're feeling too wobbly, you can spread your feet a little wider. That will make you feel more secure. At any point, whether it's my arms or my legs, wide is going to make me have more support. Narrow is harder. Okay? So I'm going to narrow my feet because I want to make this as hard as possible for myself. Let's start with fingertips up toward the ceiling. Reach your shoulder blades up toward the ceiling as well. Feel your lower back smash. And now let your shoulder blades drip and grab the foam roller like a pincher. And then lift up. I wouldn't worry too much about your elbows. It's all about the shoulder blades. Reaching up, 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 and down. Now watch your neck. Does your neck tend to chin poke? So when you do this, do you chin poke as well? Try to keep an alignment in your neck. So you're only going to play with your shoulder blades here. This is scapular protraction, and scapular retraction. Okay? Try lifting one up and not the other. Now this makes you feel a little uncertain on the foam roller. That's okay. You can spread your legs or tighten your core and just see if you can handle that challenge. Okay, what we're doing now is correcting your posture and strengthening your core. All right, keep your fingertips there. Correct your chin. Open wide. Okay, feel your shoulder blades grip around that foam roller. One arm up now, and then swap. You're also going to wobble, right? Now this is again, if you can narrow your feet, you can use your core, and this will be a challenge for your core. Otherwise, spread your feet and just let your arms have the action, all right? All right, now we're going to take those fingers and one will go overhead, one will go down. As I stretch overhead, I'm using my core to pull my tummy down and keep it cemented to this foam roller. Swap. Swap. I'm exhaling when I swap because that's how I depress my ribs and pull them down using my core. So first you started, just to remind you, keep going with this, you started with shoulder protraction, retraction. Then you opened up. Bilateral is easy, unilateral is harder. Swapping simultaneously is the hardest. Then you went overhead and down by your hip. Again, I could do one arm at a time and that would be easier. Or I can swap simultaneously. All right, now palms open. You're going to try that snow angel again. Reach all the way up and reach all the way down. Okay, we're going to try this with a little challenge in your balance to get your core to work. Since both hands are on the floor, we can now release your feet. So pause for a moment, palms down, put one foot in tabletop and then the other. Just see if you can hold that there. Okay, so now my palms are up, but I'm saying the back of my hand is on the floor. Now I'm going to go down and see if I can still hold it, narrowing my base of support, and open up. See if I can still hold it. Nice and wide is easy, right? Now as I go overhead, can I hold it? Can I hold it? That's about it for me. I can't get all the way overhead and hold it. So now you are cementing your lower back to the foam roller, and you're practicing how little support you can manage keeping your balance on the foam roller. All right, let's pause. Again, my palms are facing the ceiling, and my back of my hand is on the floor. If I'm wide like this, like a T, I have quite a lot of support and I should feel pretty stable. I can even rock myself and feel pretty stable. If I want to challenge myself more, it's going to be down like an upside down V. All right, we're going to play with the legs a little. Send one toe to the ceiling, squeeze that quad, send the other to the ceiling. Okay, what I want you to do in this little exercise is practice moving one and then the other. So you have to work your balance, your core, and squeeze that quad. If you happen to have a little bit of knock knee where your knees shine in, you can take this opportunity to shine your knees out. Okay? Now we're going to make this a little harder. If that already felt hard enough for you, you might put a foot down and just practice one leg at a time. Okay? But if you're ready for one more harder, the leg will be straight as we swap. Okay, this longer lever is what makes it harder. So if you're finding it too hard, you can always do a little shorter lever, right? And even if this is too hard, you can always rest your foot down and just do a single tap. My goal is to keep to keep my tummy down. All right, let's try about 3 more of those. So whether you're on a straight leg, swapping, or a bent knee, or one foot is on the floor. Good. All right, rest both feet on the floor. Okay, go ahead and bring your arms across your chest. I want you to roll up a little bit with your head and just make sure that your back feels comfortable on that foam roller. Breath in and roll back down. Not everybody feels comfortable with their spine on the foam roller. If this feels too much pain, you can always add a little yoga mat onto your foam roller. It will also make you feel more secure to have a yoga mat on your foam roller because it won't roll around quite as much. I'm exhaling up, taking a breath in, and exhaling down. Nice chest lifts. This engages my rectus abdominis, right? In order to not have a split in my tummy, which is called diastasis, then I need to really dig my core down. So pulling that belly button down enables my transversus abdominis to also activate. If I have my hands down here, it is a little lighter. My head and chest are not as heavy as here, but I don't have the support for my neck. So feel free to choose, but generally what we've been doing is about a minute of these chest lifts. Exhale up, breath in, exhale down. We're going to add a little twist. Exhale up, now twist. This will make you want to rock off of your foam roller. Inhale back, exhale, twist. You have to hold tight with your core. Exhale, twist, inhale back. If your lower back starts to hurt because your feet are low, you may need to tuck a little more, you may need to lower, okay? You may need to really imprint that spine into the floor, into the foam roller. All right, pause. Let go of your neck, palms up, and you're gonna reach towards one and reach towards the other. Again, if this is uncomfortable for your spine, you can put a little mat down there. Engaging your core, keeping your belly button pulled tight toward the foam roller. Good, that's probably enough for most of our necks. Lay on arm, arms overhead, and just stretch with that snow angel again. So you're just gonna let your arms go down and up, keeping the back of the hand on the floor. All right, so we just ran through just a little thing, right, of upper abs, lower abs, shoulders, and a little leg work, okay? I didn't add, there was one more leg work in tabletop. You could have let one leg open and close, okay? And we have the same theory. So I'm just adding in one more leg because I forgot it, I'm sorry. One leg opens and closes. If my legs are longer, that's going to be harder, right? We already talked about that. Okay, if my legs are longer, that will be harder. If I feel like I have a hard time keeping my foot there, I can always put one foot down and play like this, right? Long lever, long leg, short lever, tabletop. My goal is not to counter with the other leg. My goal is to hold my core very tight so that this asymmetry of my body can be corrected with my core. Now we need to do the other leg. So open with the other leg. Again, I'm just doing a variety of levels. You may wish to stay with one level or another. Okay, this is a nice moderate level. It's pretty tough. I'm having a hard time. My arms are out like an upside down V. If I want to make this harder, my hands will be right down here next to my hips. Oh, damn, that's too hard. Okay, if I want to make it easier, they're out like a T. You can also straighten the leg. Try not to counter with the leg that's staying still. Try not to let it splay open to counter the weight. And you could also place that on the floor. Good. All right, we have now worked lower abs, legs, upper abs, arms. Okay, let's change the orientation of this foam roller. So to get off, I usually just roll to the side. Now the orientation is going to go here, along sort of that bra strap for women, or if you think of a chest strap for gentlemen. I think I need to squeeze you over just a little bit more. All right. So in the beginning, I'm going to put my hands behind my head, and I'm just going to see how comfortable I am with letting my chest drift back. Notice I'm not letting my head drift back. Okay, this is not a neck PT exercise time, so I want your head to stay nice and stable and comfortable. I've got a little chin tuck, I'm pulling on my head, and I'm just seeing how much my chest can arch over this foam roller. Now, I'm extremely flexible in the thorax as far as going into extension, so don't expect yourself to be able to make that much of an arch. Some people, especially gentlemen, when they do this sort of arch, then their bottom lifts, right? I do want you to keep your bottom down and try to see how far back you can go, all right? So you're just letting yourself lift up, and that should make it a little more comfortable, and then arch over that foam roller. And what I feel is it's just underneath my scapula, okay? My scapula, if I have it too high, my scapula sort of roll over and it's slightly uncomfortable. And if I have it too low, like below my rib cage, it's my kidneys that get kind of hurt there. So you want to have it just under the scapula, but still on the rib cage. Don't let it go under the rib cage. All right, let's stay here, okay? I'm gonna stay like about halfway down. This is my farthest, this is about halfway down. I've pulled my ribs down so I no longer am arching my lower back, and I'm gonna lift my bottom and lower my bottom, okay? So this is a little bit of play with the lower half. When I lift my bottom, this is pretty flat and I don't feel any strain. As I lower my bottom, I start to feel that stretch again. So the lifting is an easier part, lowering is a little bit harder on that thorax. Thorax is this region, okay? All right, we're gonna keep the bottom up and you're gonna roll it out a little bit.
Again, don't go any lower than the ribs and don't go too much higher. You're gonna get stopped anyway, but it's the lower part. I don't want your foam roller to hit your kidneys. You're rolling your back out. I'm feeling pretty good with this, but there have definitely been days when this is extremely painful. It's the tissues, the fascia that you're rolling out. Good. All right, let's pause here. We're going to do a little bit of both. So I need to roll that in a little bit. Good. So I'm going to let it arch, then I'm going to roll my bottom up, roll my bottom down, and lift my chest up. You see how we've added the 2 exercises we already learned. Bottom up, bottom down, arch, exhale, lift your chest up. Breath in, exhale, lean or roll over that foam roller. Exhale, roll your bottom up and down. If you want to add a little bit to this, we can add a twist, literally a twist, right? So I'm going to take one leg as I lift up. Okay, now my symmetry is off balance in my lower half, right? Only one leg is pressing. So that means I'm going to have to work my diagonal patterns. Up, when I come up, let's go on an angle. Okay, so I have one leg up, so I single leg bridge. Then when I chest lift with a twist. Let's try the other leg. We did a few singles and a few twists. You don't have to add this in. You can stay with the bottom lift and the chest lift. Good. Remember that most things in Pilates can be done the wrong way and they're easy, or they can be done the right way and they're hard. Last one. Good. So just to finish, I'm going to lengthen my arms, let myself roll so that my head is touching, and you may or may not get to this level, right? But I'm just going to let a little relaxation happen. You may still need to hold your head because you may not be arching this much. Okay, and when I'm ready, I'm simply going to roll to my side. The last one we're going to do is strengthening your back. Okay, so now, being a woman, I got to be careful of objects. So I'm going to put my breasts over the foam roller, okay? Now my hands can stay down here to begin. As I lift up, I feel that foam roller kind of stick into my ribs and it helps me lift. Then I relax down over it. And lifting up. I'm using my hands now so that my butt can relax and my back can relax and my hands are pushing me up into this extension. So it's a fairly passive activity right now. Fairly passive. All right, now we're going to make it active, okay? So no more hands touching. In fact, I might just take them out and lift up. Okay, again, if this foam roller on your chest is too much, put a little foam mat on top, all right? So that you don't feel too much pain. Now with my arms short like this, just like with the legs short, it's not too hard. You could make it harder with your arms out. So I'm using my back extensors, curling up, and then relaxing back down. Again, everybody will have a different comfort level with this. This may be one of those where you prefer the rolled towel or the foam, the rolled mats, because it can be a bit harsh on a body. I also wouldn't suggest this for those of you that have spondylolisthesis or slippage of the vertebrae down here, and you're not supposed to do back extension. But this is a fairly safe one, except for the pressure of the ribs for osteoporosis, because back extension is good for that. All right, rolling it a little lower into your tummy. See with your arms here if you can relax. Just relax your tummy. If this is too much pain, change what you've got. Okay, I'm going to lift one leg, put it back down, lift the other. The goal is to have this foam roller almost flatten my back, okay? So I have no more arching. Now I've flattened it, and I can squeeze my glutes, okay? Trying to keep my hips pretty level and squeeze those glutes. This might be a nice time to add a little band between the legs so that you get a little resistance. Good. It's a little too harsh on the tummy to lift one and the other. You have to find that bit of balance. it's fine if you feel comfortable with it. I've kind of found where I need to be for my balance. But if you don't feel comfortable in the tummy with this, then obviously you have to keep one leg down. So you noticed I had to roll forward a little bit. If I was too far down, I just kept falling. So you find your balance, but you're squeezing your glutes, working your glutes, and trying to keep your back from arching. All right, let's finish with a little child's pose. So you can roll that foam roller out and get even deeper into your child's pose, and coming back up and rolling out. Okay, if I were just on the floor, I would have less shoulder extension. And again, I'm pretty flexible, so you do not have to expect yourself to get that low. But gently feel the stretch. Engage your armpits and feel the stretch. Okay, we're going to finish with one last little core builder. This is mobile in one direction, not multiple directions. So it makes it a little hard, but not super hard. The ball would be harder. So I'm going to have my hands on here, and I'm in a quad position, and I'm pushed forward into a plank. Go back to a quad and into a plank. So with this, I'm engaging my core and my armpit muscles, right? Meaning the serratus anterior, latissimus dorsi. If this feels pretty easy, go up onto your toes so that as you go forward, you go into a plank. And here my knees are not touching the floor. Okay, so this is a little harder level. Pushing forward into that plank. Okay, in this position, you can make it even harder by letting it roll forward and back. It obviously can't go very far or you're going to roll right off of it. If you want your knees down, you can feel it here. Half plank, rolling forward and back. It just makes your core work a little bit harder to have something unstable underneath your hands. Okay, so knees down is fine, even quadruped. This is still good. Tighten your core, and you can feel that tenseness where your body says, oh, darn it, I'm gonna fall down. Okay, so there's lots of levels. Half plank, full plank, or quadruped position. Finish with about 10 more seconds, whatever position you're in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. All right, so you and your friend, the foam roller, have just loosened up your upper back, strengthened your core, strengthened your back and your glutes, and a little sideways work too. Hope you had a good time, and let me know, give me some feedback. I'll see you soon.